You're watching NappyCast by Jason Nappy Weather. A lot to talk about today. We've got summer weather finally, right? We're in the June 6th time frame. Finally seeing some summer weather. Showers, thunderstorms, tornadoes out in Oklahoma. All kinds of crazy stuff going on. We're getting that summer pattern. Here is the surface analysis right now. So you've got a cold front here that is pretty much stalled off the coast of Maine. That is a stationary front back towards Ohio, Mississippi River Valley. Got an area of low pressure right around Oklahoma, Kansas here that's been firing off tornadoes. Here's a front waiting in the wings up in Canada. We haven't gotten that yet with some cooler Canadian air on the way in, but we have some time here. We still have areas of low pressure riding along this weather highway, and with that, there's going to be the opportunity for severe weather in the forecast today, continuing, ongoing. It's been ongoing all morning in Oklahoma. And now we have to wait till high pressure gets in that I just showed you. This high has to come in before things are going to settle down in the forecast. So you're going to have showers, thunderstorms, and downpours. Some tropical downpours pushing through here. New England, okay, in the forecast. And then you get your storm here that's going to be coming through the Ohio Valley that gets here for the weekend up in the Northeast, right? So another rounds and rounds of showers and thunderstorms, the typical summer pattern. We're locked into it right now for a little while, but there's another upper level trough coming up towards the Great Lakes next week. I'll talk about that in a second. First, here's the day one convective or thunderstorm outlook in the forecast right here, convection. So thunderstorm. So there is a level 2 threat here over in New York, the Catskills, back towards Pennsylvania, okay? And then here's a level 2 to 3 back towards Oklahoma, Texas, the Panhandle, and Kansas, okay? A 2 to 3 threat. So it's a higher threat there, and that threat has been ongoing all morning long in a place like Oklahoma and the Plains. But back in the Northeast and New England is just getting going. You have moisture here that's coming up from the south right along this boundary. You see all the cloud cover, that Bermuda high down to our south that pumped in all of that heat and humidity. Now it'll still be humid for the Northeast and New England the next few days before we get that drier air to come in. And look at all these clouds blowing up in Oklahoma, back towards Arkansas. That is the big thunderstorm complexes back towards the plains and the mid-south, seeing that right now. So temperature-wise, take a look at these temperatures here. The extreme heat is gone. It is 9 o'clock or so in the morning as I'm recording this here for you. So the extreme heat is gone. It is 70s and 80s, but you still have the humidity with the wind coming up from the south here. So it is cooler as far as the temperature goes. The mid 90s are gone. And I expect even cooler weather to come into the forecast for next week. Watch what happens here. This is for Saturday and Sunday. Watch this bucket of a ball of energy here, this upper level low that's going to push through and bring a pretty good sized system come in. Now, it's not going to be a huge rainmaker. It's mostly moisture starved. But this upper level low coming through the Great Lakes, it's a Monday. Look, it's a very big and broad upper level low here coming through the Great Lakes and the upper Midwest. This is going to come through Sunday into Monday. And as that comes through, it is going to cool things off for the country. It's going to drag a cold front down from the north. So that comes through for the late in the weekend and next week, and that'll drag a front through. And then another smaller upper level low, a more potent one for the middle of the week here, coming through Canada, the UP of Michigan. That'll come through and drop in. So that's going to bring in another opportunity for some more showers and thunderstorms. So focusing on New England just a bit here now, can show you those rounds of on and off showers and thunderstorms here. See the green blobs. Now, I don't want you to cancel your plans, but I can tell you Saturday there will be plenty of rain in Maine. The western mountains clear out first, but down along the coastline, that's going to continue. You can go to my website, nappycast.com. I've got the images up there in the forecast here. But if you're looking for some relief from all of the extreme heat, notice here the heat here is going to stay basically in the southern half or southern third or 2/3 of the country here. So the cooler air has come down from the north here and is very hot, obviously, where you expect it to be, and we have cooled down to the north. Now, For tomorrow into Sunday, notice here, we cool down again. Look at these temperatures here, up towards the upper Midwest, 60s and not even 70 for high up in Minnesota. So that's your one cool spot. Desert Southwest, Arizona, more than 100. Texas, same thing. Florida, Georgia, Carolina. But we cool down the Northeast here. Temperatures cooling down to the 70s for highs. So more typical for this time of the year. Notice here, though, that the humidity is here to stay for a while. So these colors right here, the oranges, that's the humidity, that's the dew point. So the measure of moisture in the atmosphere. Notice here, it is full-on 70s for dew points for the Southeast, for the Gulf Coast, okay, for Texas, okay. Obviously, you have your dry air back in the Rockies. In New England, we don't cool down. We don't lose the humidity really until Sunday and Monday is where that humidity begins to go down. For a place like New England, doesn't see it all that often, okay? So, but we are going to get relief, but only basically in New England and then the upper Midwest. I showed you a couple areas here. Look at this. This is Tuesday and Wednesday of next week. Notice here, the dew point, the measure of moisture in the atmosphere, really drops big time into the Ohio Valley, okay? So there will be very much a roller coaster ride of humidity for a good chunk of the country except the South. Now, I want to show you the National Hurricane Center. Next 7 days, no tropical cyclone activity is expected there. So that's some good news. We're not going to see any tropical systems, any hurricanes. Ignore for the next 7 days. So ignore any crazy stuff you see on the internet. Check your sources on that. We are not going to see that stuff coming our way. Now I want to transition to my loyal followers in Maine and New England and show you what's going on there. We have some changes coming. A low severe threat in the forecast today. There will be some gusty winds, downpours, some lightning, but zero tornado, zero threat for a tornado today. That will not be the case. I would not be shocked to see some small hail, but the downpours are on and off today and tomorrow. Improvement by Sunday in the forecast here. So if I bring up the next 10 days, notice here it's 74, 69, 73 in the mountains, so we're cooling off. No more mid-90s. Yesterday we got to 94 in Maine. That was the high I saw across the state, the highest temperature, and it was widespread low 90s and upper 80s with humidity. It was even warmer. And then next week we've got that front to come through, so only 60 for a high Monday. We're going to cool off. So the 80s are pretty much out of the mountains. Inland, close to 80 today. There'll be sunshine north, late rain, showers, thunderstorms, and then we cool off Saturday with the rain. We warm back up Sunday, and then cool off again next week, and then back to 80. So a roller coaster ride coming, but the extreme heat is gone. So you don't see the 90s, they're gone. Even mid-upper 80s, they're gone. Coastline, showers and thunderstorms today, midday and afternoon, and then on and off Saturday. Clear out Sunday a little bit. Some showers Monday. Then we're back to rain late Tuesday to Wednesday. Then we clear out again after that. So a very active pattern. The flood threat does go up later today and tomorrow. We've had a bunch of rain. The ground is wet, so watch out for some ponding. But overall, this is not going to be a major severe weather outbreak in the forecast today.